Hello yogis, my name is April and welcome to the Yoga Ranger Studio and welcome to this restorative yoga practice for your solar plexus chakra. We'll be working with a couple of poses that really get into this space, first with a twist and then a little compression. So for this practice, if you would like to have a few extra props around to support yourself, you can add to this prop list. I always like to have, for restorative or for yin, a blanket underneath just to add a little softness to my practice, but this is not absolutely necessary. We will need a blanket or a towel for our second pose, a bolster, and a block. If you don't have a block, you can always use a couple of throw pillows or a throw pillow or another bolster if you have it, or something that'll give a little lift to the top of your bolster. And you can always have a loosie. So we're going to start with a little twist. Taking the bolster, we're going to put a block at maybe the second highest or the lowest setting on it, just to get a little bit of a lift. We don't want a really big lift. Toward the very end, a little bit more, because we want it to kind of slant down at a nice field here. This second blanket is going to be for between your knees, just in case you want to have it there or use it for another support. So we're going to start with our knees pointed over to the side out in front of us and our hip right up against that bolster surface. Now you can shift a little bit away from it so the outside of the hip is on the side. We're going to take hands on either side and your knees can be bent. And you can start to shift down and twist yourself down. So this is going to add that twisting factor. I like to come down and then come up a little bit and then come back down. Here you can turn your head to the opposite side if that's available to you, or you can just come down and put your head down to the side with your feet, your knees pointing the same direction. Here for the knees, you can take something between the knees and stack them, or you can take that right knee and tuck it into the center of your left foot. Whatever version you take, make yourself comfortable. This is restorative. We want to find some softness in this pose. Very gently start to walk your hands in and press yourself up super slow. Keeping in mind this is restorative and we move super slow and carefully. Gently shifting over and taking your second side. Hip right up against the bolster. Hands on either side. Lifting up and twisting. And then lifting up and twisting again a little bit deeper. You're turning head to left or right. You can take that left knee in the arch of your right foot. Lay yourself down and just allow yourself to be supported by the props. No effort, no work. Just let the pose do all the work here. Gently start to lift up, walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Make your way back onto hands and knees. And setting up for our next pose. So here you can leave this at a sort of ramp angle, or you can take that block out if you like. I'm going to take our blanket here or towel and we're going to roll it up. It's got a nice little tight roll here. We're going to come into child's pose and we're going to use this as a little compression. So taking big toes together, knees wide, we're going to take that bolster right in between the knees. Take this blanket and tuck it in between. Now if this is too much, you can always just fold the blanket or the towel. Tuck it in between, right between where your hips come together with your belly space, and start to lean over. Now, as I said, maybe this is really far for you and it feels better to have a little prop underneath to support. You can tuck the bolster back further if you like. And just rest your head here. Head can be turned to one side or the other. I'll give you a timing for turning your head to the other side once we get about halfway through. You can take your hands out on either side, or you can tuck them underneath and hug the bolster to you, whatever feels best for you. Gently turn your head to the opposite side. starting to lift your head back through center, walking your hands back in, maybe taking that blanket off to the side. Coming up and taking a seat on your bolster or block, a little bit of support. And taking both hands to the space right around your navel. Our solar plexus chakra is often related to the element of fire, our digestive fire, our energetic fire, helping us digest not only food, but also ideas. You'll have heard sometimes that we refer to this space as our second brain. Taking care of this space, it is the area of the I am, your personal willpower, your connection to your personal power. A space that helps us move forward with confidence and ease. So tapping into a little bit of that fire element. Feeling your belly breathe into your hands pressing into your belly space. Gently bring your hands together at heart center. Feeling the breath in that lower space of your belly expanding and contracting. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Have a great week.